Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Ships and Giggles. It's business, and this is a match that I wanted to show for quite a while. I was going to initially do this on its own, but that's the good thing about Ships and Giggles. I can just kind of splice things up and put them in with a bunch of other random oddball clips or funny clips, that sort of thing, and be able to give you guys something to hopefully laugh about. So this is a tier 8 match for sure, so we're in the bottom. It's myself, Kami in his Fuso, and Chipster in that Molotov. Ooh, yeah. That really sucked. And as you can tell from the minimap, we're pretty much on our own here in B. There's a couple ships that are off to the right, Kami's right, and they're not able to lend much in the way of any type of support because they're just either creeping out or they're just not really doing much. So trying to harass where I can, try to draw attention away, and unfortunately I am far away from Kami to the point where I'm not going to be able to smoke him up if he gets in trouble. So unfortunately I had to pop my smoke here. There were other destroyers in the area, and I was about to get bombed by the Rangers planes there, so unfortunately I had to drop that real fast, and he's got a lot of fire coming in at him. Of course, I did try to launch torps there to ships that may have been coming out, but they decided to turn to their left and avoided my torps altogether. But as you can see, Nuremberg a few kilometers away here, and he is just getting shredded by this AP, so every salvo is landing and getting a couple thousand damage per salvo, so it's working out pretty well, and boom, he's down. Doesn't take very long even without citadels. So now we do have a cruiser and the battleship moving in to B here, and there is another destroyer that's finally looks like he's going to get involved. Kami's already at he's at like 10% of his health right now, so it's a bit too late for them to help him out, unfortunately, and now we've got a little bit more aggression to deal with from the enemy team as they start to group up a little bit better and be able to focus their firepower. Now, we did just lose one ship, and they're about to lose this guy, but we did lose Kami as well. So while we do have a nearly 400 point lead, this is one of those matches that despite that gap, we could still very well lose rather quickly. So again, more planes are coming in, keeping me spotted. Enemy Tirpitz decides to charge into B, and that's not exactly a ship I want to face because of one, the secondaries, two, the torpedoes, and then luckily he didn't shoot at me there. So I decided to pop my smoke and try to dump the torps. So hopefully I can get some hits here and try to do some damage. So as I'm laying the smoke here, I turn around, hear that torp indicator, and I'm always scared to shit whenever I hear that from behind me. And one of my torps hit, but I've got a friendly Tirpitz coming in, and pay attention to his torpedoes here, okay? So he's going to get 2 hits, and the enemy Tirpitz is going to turn out just a bit more. You got one there, and boom, one right there for a detonation. So yay, that's a big burden off of our back, and we can just move on to the next target pretty quickly. And as much as I wanted to help our Tirpitz there against the Hipper, there is an Atago over here, and that's a little bit important to me. So he is able to one-salvo me, and luckily that's not going to happen because of the fact that he's targeting something else. Now, I am still concealed here. Now I'm not. I am using AP as well. I'm trying to also hang on to my torps because of the proximity of the other ships in case I need to use them in a panic situation. In case, assuming I'm in a situation where I'm like, just an inch away from dying, and I need to launch those off and see if I can get just a flesh wound to try to help my team any further. So I do get some decent damage finally with the AP, and it looks like he's gonna run into the torps, but he sees them and has to cut in to his right. Now, one of the torps does hit, so that's good, but I decide to go ahead and launch him anyways because I don't know the condition of the guys behind me, and I finally take a look here in a sec as I assess the situation and see low health New Mexico and Hipper in front of me. I guess the Hipper just blasted the shit out of our Tirpitz with torps, but yeah, the Atago that's behind me, he's in an okay spot as far as health is concerned, but considering how close he is to the enemy Atago, I couldn't risk it any further because those damn torps, which he did get off anyways. and landed a few of them on Aratago. And take a look at the scoreboard, alright? We're 100 points from winning. We have 3 of the caps, 2 of them are currently gaining points, but we're down 6 ships to now 3. We just lost another ship. This is a really strange match. It's a very odd position to find yourself in, so it's even more crucial that I'm able to stay alive as long as possible and try to make something happen here. So we do have our carrier running like crazy on the, what's that, J8, and we do have another destroyer that's off doing some work there too. But unfortunately, a couple of my torps were eaten by the island, and the other 2, though, luckily find the front of the New Mexico. Alright, so as far as this enemy Hipper is concerned, one, he should have pushed up a bit earlier. Luckily for me, his A turret is knocked out and he's running defensive fire, otherwise I certainly would have been spotted by Hydro by now. He also makes another mistake of not using his torp tubes a little bit more wisely, where he sent the first wave, or he sent both waves as opposed to sending one, moving up a bit, sending another to try to increase his chances of getting me. Now, the match just ended, luckily, but I was so close to a damn Kraken, that would have been great. Now, it was just a strange situation to be in, though, where we were way, way ahead on points. We were really, really close to losing that match in terms of losing our ships. So, not a very common situation to find yourself in, you know? But, moving on to the Dursky. This ship. This goddamn ship. What an absolute blast to play. So 7 torpedo hits on the side of a Kawachi, and the damn thing is still afloat. That's amazing. So as the Kawachi floats to his inevitable doom here from my tier 3 torp wall, which is kind of endearing if you think about it that way, I just wanted to mention a couple things. I didn't have to wait for patch 5.7 really at all to do any ship reviews. It didn't change anything for me, and I didn't adjust anything at all with any of my ships when it came to the module changes. It's not as big a deal as maybe they were thinking, or maybe it was, you know, perceived to be, at least on my end. So there will be a wave of ship reviews coming up, including, of course, festive ones for July 4th, and I plan on having 3 ships, or actually, yeah, 3 ships reviewed at least for my time away. So I'll have like one on the 1st, the 4th, and the 5th, or something like that. And that way, while I'm away in Boston for the first 5 days of the month, I can go ahead and provide content for you guys. But the problem is I have to take away time from the stream to be able to try to catch up and get ahead of myself on that. But yeah, so the South Carolina just ate another mini wall of torps, and now I'm gonna go after a Dresden and an Ebden, because I don't know why, actually. I can't explain this one to you at all. I'm trying to help out these guys here, I guess, in B and make something happen, trying to distract these guys, which seems to sort of be working. The problem is they're rapid-fire little HE spammers, and that's not a really good thing to be going after when you're in a destroyer at this tier. Although, of course, that does apply for any destroyer going after a rapid-fire cruiser that just loves to spam HE, of course. But don't forget that the Dursky did have that torpedo range buff to 4 kilometers instead of 3, and unfortunately those torpedoes came so damn close to getting that guy, but it just didn't happen. So taking a look at my teammates here, they're really low health, and this guy is helping me out a ton by taking some of the heat off of me and keeping the attention on him so I can get a little bit closer to try to make something happen here. Now I popped my smoke because he just died, and now it's just me. But it doesn't really matter, because ding ding, both at the same time. That was so unexpected. I honestly don't know what the hell I was thinking, even charging it against them. But wow, that was strange. So it turned out that one of the cruisers had his rudder broken, and he was still on the repair cooldown for that. So unfortunately for him, but yay for you guys and me, of course. Now a little bit of a hipper clip here. That's a Tirpitz, that's a Tirpitz, that's an Iowa, and there's a Des Moines over to the left. Now, this is a 2-minute gap here from what you just saw to now. and I've only just lost that much health. I mean, all these guys have been shooting at me, and I've been either dodging or bouncing the shit out of their shells. So I'm gonna send another salvo off to the Iowa, and I'm gonna risk a turn here because I've got to do something. But my main focus, while I'm trying to get the hell away and stay alive and not screw this up for our team here as far as dying and making this match go on any longer than it should, I'm going to start working on this Des Moines. Now check this out. Pay attention to where he is. Out of all the places to beach yourself on the blue line, I don't think I've... I don't know if I've seen that before. I certainly am not on this map, but... And then he gets Citadel. Oh my god, so 15,000 damage there. And this guy is such a sitting duck, so he has his power reduced, of course, on the blue line. And he's still getting Citadel. I thought he would be able to move a little better than this, but I don't know what's happening here. And, like, I was pissed off because in this match, I'm certainly bottom tier, and I hadn't been able to do anything up to this point. So what do? I keep Citadeling him. This was so damn funny. I had no idea what to think of this situation. I shouldn't have been able to live for that long to begin with, and to see a Des Moines in that situation and then just start, you know, raining the damage down on him. I had to share that one with you guys. Now, while we're on the subject of funny things, I'm laughing ahead of time because there is so much disrespect in this clip. This Wyoming here, he did some good damage to me frontally, right? And I did jack shit to him in the Ishisuchi here against him on the side. That was a terrible exchange of damage. Not what I want. But I'm going to prioritize the Langley, because this dude has been pissing me off this whole match, because every time I tried to line up an enemy cruiser or something or other, his torp bombers would come in and I'd have to maneuver, and I just kept missing my chance to do damage. So I actually had to stick to HE for a while because, as you can see in the top right, I actually set 4 fires, yay. So I fire off a salvo at the Langley and I keep my bow pressed in against the Wyoming, and he's getting hit. Like, some, you know, damage has definitely been done to him, certainly more than what I've been able to do. But look at that salvo. He was aiming for the guy in the damn crow's nest or something, and now we have torpedo bombers coming in. And because I know this guy's on cooldown for his main battery, I can go ahead and keep my side exposed to him while dodging these torps that are more likely to hit him than me. This is phenomenal. Like, I couldn't make this shit up. So I ignore the guy even further and shoot at the Langley again, and the secondaries finish him off. Luckily, because he would have been team torped. I didn't have to do anything there. That was ridiculous. Now, this will take ridiculous to another level, though, because there's an enemy division of destroyers, 2 Isakazis and a Wakataki, right? Now, I have an Omaha with me who's going to be instrumental to what happens here. So, you're going to see this first Isakazi pop up, and if I see one, I know the other guys are going to be right there with them. Now, there's going to be a salvo that comes in right here on that Isakazi. Certainly broke a bunch of different modules, but he hit the repair. So, when I go ahead and get my main battery on him and fire away, I'm lucky enough to go ahead and set a fire. That's important. Now, I just sent the torps kind of panicked and sent them into the smoke ball, of course, because I gotta do it. I took out one of the Isakazis, and the other Isakazi's burning. Now, the Omaha's helping me out here by still hitting this guy, and the Wakataki turns right back into the damn torps and gets taken out, and then my fire kills the other Isakazi. What the shit? Like, I was blown away by that. I have never seen anything like that. I've never gotten 3 kills in such rapid succession before. But then something else appears that kind of just sets this off even further. That's the Nicholas. And he's all on, what, 50 health? and he's stationary, basically. So, one shell is all it takes. And in 52 seconds, all 4 of their destroyers have been taken out. Wow. And just because I had been denied so many times the last couple days, I needed to be really aggressive here to make sure that I had the chance to get a Kraken. And this Congo, yeah, hey, you just had to be the victim. So, got the Torps chasing him, and one of them finds the poop chute right there. There's the Kraken. Alright. So, very curious match. You'll see the damage totals for that one at the end, and I think you'll be surprised at just how little damage I ended up doing in that match. Now, that was a special type of match, right? But this one was just... this one was batshit crazy. So, I'm going to be really stupid here in my Clemson, and I'm going to rush a Colbert, which isn't an exceptionally powerful ship, but I'm a destroyer, and he's got a lot of guns, and they fire quickly. So after taking that initial damage, I dodge a salvo, then I dodge another, and this guy, luckily enough, is not adjusting his aim properly, and I dodge another, and the torpedoes find their mark, and just for good measure there, I dodged the last shot too. Now, he was baited hard as shit, because his teammate just finally comes out of the blue here and is setting me up for a torp run, and obviously I know that because he's not firing his damn guns. So he took his sweet time lining that salvo up, and check this out. I launched my torps, but see that? I ran into the Kohlberg's carcass there, and unfortunately I hit a torp. I think I may have been able to split that if I didn't get pushed out a little further. But luckily the Clemson gets taken out, and I'm on very low health. So being the suicidally aggressive type of destroyer player that I am, and I think that's pretty much the only way to describe me when it comes to USN destroyers, because I mean, what am I doing if I'm not, you know, getting up in the thick of things, launching torps and shooting my guns, right? I'm chasing an enemy Wix here into B, and boom, there's the detonation. Poor fellow. God, that sucks. But yeah, I was still okay with it because, you know, I'm not exactly in the position to be able to go toe-to-toe with the Wix, let alone any other ship at this point. But a lot of action here in the center, a few battleships, and there's a cruiser coming in as well. Got this Wyoming here who is just burning like crazy and getting a lot of fire from various other sources too. As you can see, my team is still kind of slow to get out of sea, and that's one of those pet peeves of mine. Basically, you have an objective taken, point your ships to the next one. It's the best way to provide protection for yourself. So I'm in the middle here, being suicidal as usual, and enemy St. Louis is coming up. Do fire torps at the Kawachi. There's a Svetlana that's still alive, as well as a Wyoming and a Nikolai. So a lot of things to consider there. Start firing at the St. Louis because why not? I'm basically dead anyways. But the torps seem to be true on the Kawachi. Get some actually really decent damage there, and a devastating strike on the guy. Now, when it comes to gaming, and actually I think only when it comes to gaming, I'm a bit of a risk taker. So I'm not afraid to throw down when I need to throw down, right? And I love it. I love brawling in any game. Mech Warrior Online, when I played that, I was all about the close range stuff. I loved it. And you know, first person shooters, I love sniping, but at the same time, you know, those raw, dirty, close-range battles are so much fun. So the enemy Wyoming takes out my destroyer buddy there, which gives me just enough room to be able to come in, launch torps against the backside of this Nikolai here, and I was initially going to fire torps at the Wyoming, but I thought he may have been able to turn out, so I launched him at the Svetlana, even though I didn't mark him there. Get a couple shots on him real fast as shells come in, take me out from the Wyoming, but I get the Nikolai, and wait for it. Wait for it. Booyah! Look at all those fucking medals. What the hell? So 92,000 damage, a double strike Kraken, 2 devastating strikes, high caliber, Confederate, and 2 just flesh wounds, and almost 2,000 base XP in the damn Clemson. Yeah, that was awesome. So while that pretty much does it for this episode of Ships and Giggles, there's a few more things I just wanted to mention real fast. I will be knocking out a ton of reviews over the next month in preparation for being able to have a more timely review release for the German battleship line when that comes out in August, presumably. And so you'll see a lot more content here over the next month and a half. Yeah, I will be streaming tonight, Friday, at actually I'm not sure. We'll see when I get home, but and Saturday during the day, which should be pretty much my last day stream until I get back from Boston. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I suspect there's going to be some funny comments about this video today, and I look forward to reading those, but I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you back here next time. Take care.